Where is Randa Jahari? It has been 10 years since the Fenton woman vanished from her apartment, sparking an intense community search. But a decade later, still no answers for her family. And as the Jahari family continues to hold on to hope they'll see Randa again, tonight in an ABC 12 investigation, we take a closer look at how close investigators are to cracking this case.
Before I die, I wish I know what happened to her.
A decade has passed since Anisi Jahari last heard the sound of her daughter Randa's voice.
She called me in the morning. I'm Randa, Mom. I miss Dad. I miss her so much.
It's a mystery that has haunted the Jahari family for 10 years.
You go in circles, and there's every scenario plays in your mind.
This thing was like a bomb went off with all of us, you know, and we've never recovered from it.
Randa Jahari was 42 years old when she went missing February 11th, 2009. The mother was a former actress, author, and artist. She was also bipolar and had other health issues.
She was a loving person. It's like she never looked at anybody in a bad way. You know, she'd always find the good in them.
She made me laugh all the time. She was very spiritual. We talked about God. I mean, she was a big part of my life.
Randa kept in contact with her family several times a day. So when they didn't hear from her, worry began to set in.
I live in a broken heart till I know what happened to her.
Anisi went to Randa's apartment that morning. When she got there, the inside was untouched. Even the clothes she laid out for Randa the night before were still on the bed. But Randa was missing.
Everything set up, nothing like missing or out of place or something, but only her cigarette is still there.
Bathrobe wasn't there. A brown leather jacket was missing also, but the clothes were still there. So it leads us to believe that she left, maybe just threw a jacket on and left.
Word of Randa's disappearance caused the Fenton community to rally around the Jahari family. Searches were made by air and on the ground. Hundreds of flyers were passed out, a billboard went up, and thousands of tips poured in.
I still believe that she's out there.
But 10 years later, the family and police are still waiting on the one lead to Randa's whereabouts.
She did just vanish, and it's weird.
Fenton Police Detective Scott Townsend is now handling the case. At one time, investigators had two solid leads. The first, an image from a surveillance camera at Randa's apartment showing this vehicle.
There's a car that goes back there at 5:12 in the morning on February 11th. Is back there for approximately a minute, and the camera's motion activated, so we don't know what happens. If somebody went back there and abducted her, and would it take less than a minute to get her from her sleeping bed, grab a jacket, into the car? I mean, without her knowing, I don't know those answers.
The second was this composite sketch of a man who witnesses say was last seen with Randa at a dentist office in Flint. Investigators talked to several men over the years who looked similar to the sketch.
I once tried to speak to a person that was close to it a couple years ago. Didn't have any luck.
With a decade passing since Randa's disappearance, the tips into police have slowed. People have called in sightings, but nothing solid. Now Detective Townsend believes the break they need will have to come from someone with firsthand knowledge.
Those are the people that we're going to hopefully hear from. I'd like to just get closer to the case.
We hope and we pray that she is alive, you know, and she's out there. And one day, you know, she's just going to come through the door.
February 11th, 2009 was the day time stood still for the Jahari family. They are keeping the faith that a break in the case will come, and they are holding on to hope that one day they will learn what happened to Randa.
It doesn't matter how many years have gone by. Right now it's been 10 years, but the truth is still the truth, and sooner or later it will surface.
Anybody knows something, let us know. Whatever they done, right or wrong, we forgive them. Just we want Randa back.
And sadly, Randa's father passed away several years ago, not knowing what happened to his daughter. The family also wants answers for Randa's now 16-year-old daughter. If you have any information that could help in the disappearance of Randa Jahari, contact Fenton Police or Crime Stoppers.
Your heart just breaks for her mother.
Absolutely.
When you hear her speak. They deserve to know what happened.
Absolutely. It's been so much time that has passed, and they're just looking for that one tip that could help break the case. And it's been 10 years and a lot has happened, but you just never know.
They deserve those answers. Well, there